This week we had the FOMC meeting, and in my opinion, it's all eyes on the dollar, and that's really going to set the tone for the rest of the year. In this video, I'm going to break down just some simple analysis on the dollar and what I think this really means for risk assets moving forward. So as you can see here, the dollar this year was kind of opened in and around this area and was moving upwards, and it was looking like it was building some trending structure. And I even did a video on it earlier this year. I spoke about it where, okay, cool, we could see a trend in the dollar, which would typically be a hindrance on risk assets moving forward. But as you can see this week, we had a big rejection week. And I think what that means for, kind of the broader market is like, could this be another leg when it comes to risk assets? So as you can see here, we've got the S&P. That's had, a nice retest there, coming back above. It's still in this range, but it's holding up nicely. You'd like to think we'd have a run towards that all-time high that we set in and around June time. So I think that's where we're up to with everything. And then another story when it comes to the dollar is this rejection week. So the dollar versus the yen. The yen, the Japanese, committee. Can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. Central bank held rates, and obviously so did the US. And as you can see, this has been on a huge move. And if you kind of zoom all the way out on a weekly basis, it's been pretty much up only. But what that does look like is rejection for the time being. Now there's typical fears that people have got from the bond market as well, which again people are thinking this is going to force the Federal Reserve to hike rates, but only time will tell. But this rejection week on the dollar, and kind of not being able to kind of break above here and hold, but what it looks like that at the time being, could really set the tone for another leg when it comes to the S&P. So the dollar, okay, so you're watching this video. What's actionable from this video? I'm not a dollar trader. I don't trade dollar futures. I don't invest in dollar futures, but I think it's a good observation tool and it's a good sentiment tool, which you can see here when we had that down spiral there. That also coincided with a down spiral, kind of an upwards spiral, in the S&P. So yeah, could we see something similar? Who knows? But what I would say to take away from this video, because it's a very short one, is observe the dollar, watch it, see what it's doing. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't take decisions off the back of what the dollar's doing, but I would help it as a more of a mindset shift. Like, okay, cool. If the dollar's dumping, you would expect risk assets, and this as well. This has been a bit of a story as well. Dollar yen, that rejected. Are we going to see a big move down? Because this is a huge week, rejection wise, right? Like this is a huge impulse lower from that chart. So what I would take from this, it would be, okay, cool. Risk assets. We could see a run back here. Could see another all-time high breakout. We saw some huge moves in stocks, how they closed this week. So in my opinion, it would be observe, the dollar, see what it's going to do, but don't take decisions just based on what the dollar's doing. Don't think dollar dumping, all long risk assets. You still need to take them on their own accord, if that makes sense. So I would ignore what the dollar's doing personally, but it's a really good observation tool because it can kind of set your bias. I wouldn't say to set your decision bias, but your mental bias. That's what the dollar can set. So takeaways from this video: use the dollar as a bias. Don't make decisions off the back of it, but use it as a bias tool. As you can see here, we've got the S&P. It's held nicely in this range. It's been consolidating. Are we going to see another leg up? Are we going to see more chop throughout summer? Who knows? I mean, all you can do is trade your systems, have a plan, have a process, and that's the best way to do it. Don't make decisions on the dollar alone. It can set the tone, it can set your bias, but don't make decisions, on your own. If you want to get more insight into what I'm doing on a weekly basis, I do have a free newsletter. Links that will be in the description. See you in the next one.